Okay, tell me, just as you have to study to become a good student, just as you have to exercise to build a body, just as you have to play to become an athlete, then, to become rich, to become the owner of crores of rupees, what do you have to do? The answer is simple. You have to build assets. Because without assets, it's impossible to become truly rich in the sense we understand. Warren Buffett says, if you can't earn money while sleeping, you'll have to work until your last breath. And earning money while sleeping is only possible through assets. But we ordinary people understand assets only as banks. Keep money in the bank, and at the end of the month, take the interest, income without effort. But is that really the case? Recently, after the US presidential election, many things have changed there. At that time, Robert Kiyosaki posted this thread: banking crash has begun. After that, in America, 2 banks failed one after another in a short time. First in Philadelphia, USA, then in Oklahoma. And who suffered the loss? The users who deposited $1 million, who still haven't gotten their money back. And such incidents don't happen only in America, but in various countries around the world at different times. You surely remember PMC Bank, where a scam of $880 million was caught, and 9 lakh middle-class families lost all their money and became destitute. In fact, this is the dark truth of our banking system, which we're never told about. According to DICGC, no matter how much money you keep in a bank, if for any reason the bank closes or fails, you'll only get 5 lakh rupees from it. According to FDICD, if a bank fails, no matter how much money you have in it, you'll only get back $2.5 lakh. Now the question is, why do banks fail? The main reason banks fail is when you deposit money in the bank gives you 4% interest rate and lends your money to someone else at 8% interest rate. Meaning, it takes 8% profit from them, gives you 4%, and keeps the remaining 4% as its own profit. But if for some reason the bank gives huge loans to many wrong people and fails to recover those loans due to political power or any other reason, then basically a bank fails. There are several other reasons besides this, but this is the main one. Besides, our country's inflation rate is currently 9%, and your savings account interest rate is 3 to 4%. Okay, let's take FD2. There, the interest rate is 6 to 7%. So in this situation, your money in the bank is increasing in number, but not in value. Think you have $10 today, 5 years later, it becomes $15. But the coffee that costs $1 today will cost $2 in 5 years. Then your dollars increased from 10 to 15, but now you can't buy that coffee with it from the market because the value of your dollars has decreased. So no matter how much your dollars in the bank increase, they can never beat the market's inflation rate. That is, all in all, your future is dark. So what can be done in such a situation? Today in this video, we'll talk about 5 such assets where if you invest money, you'll get more safety and more returns than the bank. And you'll be able to beat the extra inflation too. So my dear brothers and sisters, let's start. Asset idea number 1, the God's money. Robert Kiyosaki says, I will never chase after things made by humans. Instead, I will try to acquire things made by God. Robert Kiyosaki calls gold and silver God's money, because gold and silver are 2 commodities that are controlled neither by any government nor by any market. Robert believes that in the difficult times of our lives, this God's money will be considered the most valuable insurance policy, because paper currency like dollars, euros, yen, excess printing, market inflation, and politics along with various circumstances always cause it to lose value. Gold and silver give very good returns even in the worst market situations, like drought-resistant trees in severe drought areas. For example, look at the 2008 world financial crisis. On one hand, all the world's stock markets crashed. At that time, all currencies' values were increasing rapidly. The real estate market also crashed, even in that bad time. Gold didn't lose its price, but increased at rocket speed. Where all investments were considered losses, there gold alone increased its value and was considered the best investment. That's not all. Just as your money in the bank fools you and slowly loses its value, there, gold is the only asset that, lying in your cupboard, very easily beats market inflation. That's why birthdays, anniversaries, or weddings all pass with this gold. Last year in 2024's wedding season in Rupee, 40 lake weddings were completed in just 2 months. for which 144 tons of gold were bought, whose market value comes to $4 billion. Surely you can guess the number is not small here either. Because for us, gold is not just a financial asset. Rather, it is also a family legacy, which passes from generation to generation. Now the funny thing is, this huge amount is only with the rich upper class, because the middle class is still saving all their money only in banks. They think gold is a luxurious thing. It's nothing but luxury. But in reality, gold is something whose value existed thousands of years ago, exists now, and will exist thousands of years later. Asset idea number 2. One of the world's richest people, Warren Buffett, started his first business at just 6 years old. He would go in front of various shops and collect the bottle caps lying there. Within a few days, he realized that the most popular drink was Coca-Cola. So he bought 6 packs of Coca-Cola for 25 cents, added chewing gum to it, and started selling them door to door every morning for 5 cents. Since people consumed large amounts of Coca-Cola at that time, his idea worked very well. If you look at any super successful person in the world, the word business is directly or indirectly involved in their career, whether it's before getting success like Warren Buffett. Because business is something that will help you the most in building true wealth. Asset idea number 3, use debt advantage. About 90% of people in our country use debt only to buy liabilities, whereas debt should be used as a strategic advantage, which helps in building assets that generate income. Robert Kiyosaki has one, $2 billion in debt, for which people have trolled him a lot. But later it was known that the debt is not bad, but good. All the money Robert borrowed from the bank, he invested it all in real estate properties, gold, and silver, which in the next few years cleared all his debt and made him a super billionaire. If you give $5,000 to $6,000 credit to any random person and say, go use it, then the first thing that comes to their mind is buying an iPhone. Then an expensive laptop. Then if some money is left, shopping with it. A watch worth $200,000 to $300,000. If some money is still left after that, eating out with satisfaction, burping. Among them, some people, seeing the EMI option, forget their capability and salary and start taking big risks, even buying cars worth $15,000 to $20,000. Among them, some people from middle class to rich class save $50,000 throughout their life and take $50,000 EMI to buy a $1 lakh house. They work the last 20 years of their life just to pay off this EMI. Whereas people like Robert Kiyosaki using this debt properly. Instead of taking one property worth $81, $7,000, take 3 properties. He lives in one, rents out the other 2, and pays off the loan with the rent money. Once the loan is finished, the properties are his, and the rent money from the properties is also his. This is called the proper use of debt. Asset idea number 4. Intellectual property. Brother, intellectual property means your own creation, like content, podcast, writing, song, course, etc. In the current time, intellectual property is considered a very big asset. Nowadays, many people are generating a lot of dollars by writing ebooks. There's a saying, in the peeling paint of every brick of a 100-year-old Zamindar house, a story is hidden. Hidden are hundreds of smiles, cries, anger, grudges. Similarly, every person has some stories, special knowledge on some subject. So if you want, you can write your skills in ebook form, and very easily generate money too. Ebooks are incredibly trending these days. In 2024, the ebook market size has reached $20 billion. And according to a report, by 2029, this market size will increase to $22 billion. Because nowadays, everyone has to stay in technology even if they don't want to. So everyone has become addicted to phones and computers. Everyone is consuming content from online and internet. Now, no one likes to carry books around because they read ebooks on phones and tabs, so undoubtedly, this business will expand more in the future. Besides, your created ebook has your copyright, meaning it's your intellectual property. So whatever people do using it, they have to give you a percentage as royalty. In the current time, any intellectual property you create can be considered a valuable asset. Asset idea number 5, people. Usually, in our business, we don't value employees and surrounding people, and we realize their absence when they leave. One thing you always have to remember, no matter how big a company is, it's built by ordinary employees. Because it's not possible for one person to create a brand. What do you think? How have companies like Apple, Microsoft, Reliance become so successful? Because of their employees and their team. Everyone knows about September 11th, 2001, but very few people know that on that day, not just firefighters or police, but many ordinary people risked their lives to save strangers. Some security staff, office assistants, cafeteria workers working at the World Trade Center, many of whom were new joins, some just a few weeks. They had no guns, no training, but they knew if we run now, the people behind won't survive. Many entered the smoke and came out with people. Many didn't return. Later, studies on crisis leadership were done at Harvard and Wharton School. There the question arose, why do some people step forward when everyone else runs away? Why do some employees protect others, even when it's not their job? In this study, one thing came up repeatedly. Character beats skill in a real crisis. Training matters, but values matter more. Some of America's most successful companies like Johnson & Johnson, Southwest Airlines, Costco, they don't just look at skills in interviews. They ask, what kind of person are you under pressure? If someone is weak, do you stand by them or stay away? Does your ethics change with convenience? A former Fortune 500 CEO said, you can teach skills in weeks, but you can't teach courage, honesty, or empathy in a classroom. Hearing this, I remember that scene from Captain America. A grenade is thrown, everyone backs away, and only Steve Rogers, with his weak body, jumps on the grenade, because he knew he might die, but the others would live. This is leadership. This is character. And in real life, these people become heroes in times of crisis. So, brother, no businessman can make his business successful alone. The reason behind his success is the honest people around him. So find such people who can be truly valuable assets for you. So, brother, this was our today's arrangement. If you liked the video, like it. Share your valuable opinion in the comments. Thank you.